Hello, guys. John Palermo here, and my very first episode on YouTube. I'm just going to dig right in, and what I want to talk about today is programming graphics on the Commodore 128. And we'll start with the very basics. I'm just going to dive right in, and if you have any questions, you can leave comments, and I'll try to answer them. So, this video is for no type of audience in particular. If you're a beginner and you want to learn, that's fine. If you're intermediate or advanced, this might get a little boring for you. But I mean, if you're brand new to learning retro programming, it might help. So let's just dig right in. Um, so the Commodore 128. Um, let's start with putting characters on the screen and changing the colors of characters on the screen. So Commodore 128 is a 40 column by 25 row display of characters. So again, we have 40 columns across this way by 25 columns down. Now 40 by 25 is 1000. So we can display a total of 1000 characters on the Commodore 128's 40 column display. Forgot to mention, the Commodore 128 has two types of display, a 40 column and an 80 column. So why don't we just stop there for a sec and show you what the 80 column display looks like. Well, it looks like that right now because we haven't switched to it. To switch to it, we can type in a command. Don't worry too much about what this means, but if you want to switch to 80 column, well, you can either do that physically if you're in front of a physical 128, or if you're kind of lazy like me, you could just type in this command here, sys, what is it, 49194. Now you notice the cursor has disappeared. So if we switch to the 8 column, now we can see we're in 80 column mode, right? And if you're not familiar with BASIC at this point, don't worry. But BASIC, and the BASIC we're using on the Commodore 128 is BASIC 7.0. BASIC is very much like human language, in this case English. So I should say English language. So let's try and print something on the screen. And so if we type in the command print John, it's all uppercase, don't forget, print John, it returns with printing John on the next line, right? Okay, so let's get back to 40 column mode. It says, so same command on both screens, 49194, and we will be back to the 40 column screen, which is absolutely great. So now that we know we can put 1,000 characters on the screen, how do we go about doing that? Well, of course, we can just type stuff, right? Right? Just typing stuff. But in a program, that's not how we do it. We want to write a program and we want to put characters on the screen. Now, of course, in BASIC, we can say print. I keep forgetting I'm in a retro computer here. I'm going to print John. It prints to the next line. But I want to be very, very specific about where I want to put characters. So let's say I want to write a program and I want to put the character the top right hand corner of the screen. So as we mentioned before, or maybe I haven't mentioned it yet. I was just thinking about it. So the Commodore 128 is a lot of the I/O functions of the Commodore 128 are mapped to memory. What this essentially means is if you want to display something on the screen, you have to place a value at a specific location in memory. Okay, so we have what's called video RAM and color memory. Video RAM essentially means if you put something at a specific location in memory that is mapped to the screen, it will display on the screen. I'll just get right into it. So the screen RAM or video RAM on the Commodore 128, just like on the Commodore 64, starts at address 1024. I'll just write down 1024 and ends at location 2023. Yeah, these are addresses in decimal. And I just created a little program, didn't I? So let me take that out. See if I don't want to create. Here we go. So we're in hexadecimal, and you don't have to worry too much about hexadecimal at this point. That would be location 400 to 07FF. But let's not worry about that right now. Now, we've learned a bit of basic. We've learned how to print. In order to put a value at a memory location, we use the command poke. Okay. So if I want to get a character right here, top left-hand corner of the screen, I want to put a value at location 1024. I'm saying put a value at location 1024. What value are we going to put in? Well, we want to put, let's say we want to put the character A. The code for character A on the Commodore 128 is 1. So the minute I hit return, I'm going to see an A at the top left-hand corner of the screen. And there goes the A. There's the A, right? So again, there's 1,000 characters that we can display on the screen because we have 40 columns across and 25 rows down, and that makes for 1,000 characters. Now that we've put an A on the screen, why don't we change the color? Well, color memory is from address 55296 to 56295. Okay. Let's change the color of that A. So what does it mean to say that color memory is between 55296 to 56295? It's to say that if we start at the starting address, which is 55296, that's mapped to this position on the screen where the A is. So if we put a color at address 55296, if we put a color there, that A is going to change to that color. Let's choose 1. 1 is white. So we've changed the color to white. It's really that simple. It's really that simple. Okay. So let's start writing a bit of a program here. We'll start with really large number like 10,000, and we'll do a screen clear. So that's our first line of the basic program. The basic program just starts with a number, just numbers the line of basic. So we'll start at 10,000, then we'll get to 1,010. At 1,010, we'll print. We'll just say that, screen RAM is from 1024 to 1023. Okay. And I missed something. I missed a quote. Let's see if I got that in right. Yep, got that in right. So now if we run this program, we have a syntax error. What did I do? Oh, no, I actually did it right. So let's, yes, we want to print screen RAM is from 1024 to 2023, which is exactly 1,000 memory locations for 1,000 characters on the screen. And if we run the program, that's what we see, because we're clearing the screen. And then the next available line to print is row 1, although we'll start our indexing from 0, so we'll call that row 0. And let's continue our program. So at line 10,020, we will print that video RAM, or sorry, color RAM is from 55296 to 56295. Okay. We'll list that out, and then we will run this program. So basically what we've done is we've printed screen RAM is from there and color RAM is from there to there. So what's next in our program? Next line would be 10,030, and we want to print my name, John. So we're going to poke not 1024. Why not? Why not? Because 1024 would, well, let's see what happened. I'm going to put 1024. 10 would be J. Okay, now let's run this and see what happens. Well, there's the J, and it overwrote the S from the word screen. So we don't want to poke to the first location in screen RAM. We want to be able to poke to the third row, which is row 2, starting from 0. And the way to do that is, well, there's 40 columns across, so we want to basically, add, if we add 40, that takes us to the second row. If we add another 40, that takes us to the third row. But instead of adding 40 twice, we can just multiply by the row number. And again, the row number is 2 because we're starting from 0. So we have 0, 1, and 2, which is row 3. So let's say 40 times 2. And what are we poking? Poking 10. And if we run that, now we get the J on the third line. So we're in a good spot here. Now let's do 10,040 poke. Same concept, but you know what? I need to move one column across. So we can just do that by, starting at 1025 on the first row, and then adding the number of rows down that we need to display to. So again, it's going to be row 3, and O is, I believe, 15. It is. So Now let's do 10,050. We're going to poke. Now we've got to go to column 3. So we'll start at 1026 on row 1 and then get to row 3 at column 3, and we need H, which I believe is 12. ASCII code 12. No, not quite. No, I went the other way around, didn't I? 15 is O. Oh, I believe H is 8. So let's give that a shot. Yes. And lastly, we have 10,060 poke 1027 plus 40 times the row number, which is 2. And H would be, N would be 14. And we run. Here. And we've printed my name, John, through a little little basic program. Now what about changing the color? Okay, so changing the color, let's start with another line number. Start at 70, we poke. Well, we just said, right, that color RAM starts at 55296, which would be the color of the top leftmost position of the screen. But we don't want the top leftmost position of the screen. Did I say that right? Top leftmost position. Top left, yeah. So you know what I mean. And then, well, we want to get to the third row. So 40 times 2. And what color do we want? 1 is white. Okay. Now let's continue. In fact, yeah. Let's go to 10,080. Poke. Now we're going to start with, in fact, I don't have to type everything. You can just kind of copy line 70. So we have 80. And again, we're going to start at column 2. So we'll just advance this by 1 to 7. And let's try color 5. All right. And then let's advance to 10,090. And we're going to go to the third column. So we advance the column number by 1 to 8. And then we want to try color 10. Why not? Okay. And then finally, go to 10,100. And we'll advance to the next column, incrementing by 1, 9. And we'll try, what the heck? We'll try 15. And there we go. So there's our little lesson on simple graphics display on the Commodore 128's 40-column screen, displaying characters and changing their colors. So I think that'll be it for today. So on the next episode, I think what I'll do is we'll play around with making our own characters or changing existing characters slightly to look different. and I will explain how that works on the Commodore 128, um, how the Commodore 128 generates characters, where it stores, I guess, character memory. Um, I'll just tell you now that there's ROM, right, read-only memory on the Commodore 128 that stores the binary data for displaying characters, and on the next episode we will discuss that a little bit more. So for now, I hope you enjoyed this video, short and sweet, but I hope, like, if you're new to retro computing, because I know a lot of young people are getting back into it, I hope this helped in some way. This is kind of like a hello world tutorial on the basics of graphics for the Commodore 128. So I hope this helped, and I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys on the next episode. Thanks again, and bye for now.